Today we're at a low water Bristol Channel mark. Got here at high tide. Got to wait about an hour now for the tide to drop back so we can basically cast out, fish over boulders onto sand. Now as the tide starts to ebb, we can basically jump onto a sandbar which uncovers and gets us over low water into a drop off. Now, very dangerous venue, as I found out a few years ago. Up here today to gather some footage and photography for an article I'm putting together for the magazine for the fundraiser for the RNLI England versus Waste Comp. Edward Riley, Paul Lynch, what information can you give about the venue, Eddie?
Well, I've fished here quite a few times, as you know. Me and you come down here a few years ago. I mean, we had a tent down here. We were fishing a little spot around the corner there, high water. There's not many do fish down here high water. On the bigger tides, not really advisable. As obviously, like Andy said, you know, he come a cropper here one night. Very serious. It could have been worse, but no, it should be a good venue. As that tide drops out, like Andy said, we got a little bit of boulders there, and then after that, we got sandbar after sandbar after sandbar. Fish it right through the low tide, and we'll fish it an hour or two up. Hopefully, we'll have some results.
You can see where the cliffside's decaying, and gradually over the years, it's going to get worse and worse. What's the coastline for you? Each coastline changes every year.
Strong winds and big tides.
Just goes to show how much impact the weather and the sea has on these coastlines. It's a lovely day for it. Water's flattened off. There's whales over in the background.
To boldly go where no man has gone before. Well, here we go, lads. Andy's going to stay up the top here a minute. I'm the first one down. Yeah, it is a bit of a dangerous mark, like Andy said earlier on. We take it one at a time. I'll get to the bottom, get out of the way of the cliff, and then I'll shout up for the next man to come down. To be honest, you wouldn't want one of these boulders hitting you in the head. Let's have a go. Always take a bit of care when you're going down. Look for your footing before you step on it. For the most part, you could probably, you know, climb down without the rope. But if you get something to slip out of the way, there's nothing to stop you doing the rest of it. So keep a good hold on the rope and just guide yourself down with it. And if you catch me slipping, turn the camera off.
This isn't to promote the mark for fishing, this is just when anybody's fishing a venue like this, going down cliff sides, it's always in their best interest to get a rope or some kind of support. See, Ed's nearly 3/4 of the way down now. It's not the perfect time of year to come here fishing wise. Not sure what we're going to get into. We're obviously going to be putting big baits out and see what we can come up with. Waving up Paul. Paul Lynch, got to break his cherry to the mark. Just take it easy, mate. No rush. On fishing venues like this, there's only one way to do it, and that's safely. As I found out many years ago, you said before, you think over time, fishing the mark so many times, same as most people think, oh, you know everything about the mark, but it just goes to show that you never know everything. Sea can be so predictable at times. And see the surroundings. I mean, we used to love fishing this venue in the dark. Found that you got more results and better fish fishing in darkness. As you can see, doing stuff like this with headlights on, you're always going to put yourself at risk. And many of us anglers do this week in, week out, targeting fish. Some of the venues I fish on the South Devon coast are a lot steeper, a lot more dangerous to get down than this. But as long as you're safe and careful, necessary ropes, different things to obviously enable you to get down safely, you're minimising that risk.
I just come down, drop my gear down the bottom here. You can see up the top there's Mr. Andy Webb. He's just looking out for Paul coming down. And there's Paul now, just about coming to the bottom of the rope. He's come down pretty safe. No real dramas. Yeah, it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. But as you can see there, with the stones coming down, look, if someone was to be below you, I suppose you could get pretty hurt. And it's not really the place to do it. I mean, there's quite a climb to get back up, and you wouldn't do it if you was injured. But there we go. What do you reckon, Paul?
Good. Take your time. Where you be fitting. It'll be alright. Not looking forward to going back up though.
What's your recommendation for the day then? What do you reckon? What are we going to get?
Well, I'm hoping for some ray. I wouldn't mind a nice cod to be honest, but I'm not picky. I'll take anything at the minute. Way fishing's been the last couple of weeks myself. But you never know. I'm here with two good blokes who know what they're doing. So you know, I can only learn today. It's all about a learning curve for me today, this month. You know, I've wanted to fish here for quite a long time, but you know, I never wanted to come down by myself. But these two fished in quite a lot, so I feel safe after the day.
And there we are now. Andy's just packing his gear away, putting his camera and stuff into his box. He'll load up and head down the cliff himself. Paul's clear out the way now. He's sat on the rocks behind me. Clear of danger for a minute. Let's hope it's all worth it. Still, certain times of the year this place will fish better than others. But you know, it's like anything. If you don't go out and have a go, you're never going to know. So pick up your rods, lads, and get out on it. Always be aware of your surroundings. Have a good look at the spot before you turn up. You know, what we tend to do is look on Google, and you know, you ask about people. Sort of, there's not a lot of spots in the UK now that haven't been fished. You know, if you meet the right sort of people, they'll tell you exactly how it, and when it fishes, and what the danger factors are of a certain mark. But it's always good to do your background, do your own work. Here he is now, just coming to the bottom of the rope. Not too much aggro. I think you had one tiny little slip there, but just goes to show even the experienced lads can do it. What do you reckon, Ant?
As long as it's done slowly and carefully, you'll, safe enough in it. But the sea's flattened off really well today, and I think we've got a good chance of getting something out. Probably 20 minutes. Nice big lob. Put you straight onto the sand. But you can see now, look, little bits of stone and that falling down behind me. That's why we do it one by one. Same as going up. One person's going up, and there's 2 or 3 of you coming up at the same time. One at the top loses some of this. It's going to come down like even something that size. That comes down an inch, yo. In the end, you're going to have serious problems. Right, I'm going to show you the drop down rig. Ideal rig to be using on this sort of venue. Allows you to keep the trace line right away from the weight, and obviously try and pick up something along the way. Now, to start this off, I've got £70 Ultima Powerflex shock leader. Now, I like to use shock leader as my trace line, obviously for targeting the specimen size fish. I want to know I've got something strong and reliable, what's going to help me bully the fish up over the boulders if I need to, or over the drop off, something what's got a lot of strength in and it's not going to snap. Right, Gemini Genie bent rig clip. Gemini swivel link clip. Gemini link clip, which I attached to my shock leader, enabled me to change the rig easy enough. 2 6.0 Cox and Raw up-tied extras. Absolutely fantastic strong hook, won't let you down, won't bend out, and it gives me the confidence when I've got a fish on, which I can use the power and force in the hook, what won't bend out and land my fish for me. 3 size 2 Cox and Raw swivels, couple of beads, and a 7-ounce Namix weight. Okay, to start this rig off, I'll take the main rig body. Now I like to use a longer rig body, so what I do is I take it out to my arm and my hand, and I bring it to my shoulder, so roughly about 4 foot. You can do them shorter, you can do them longer. All depends on the size of the tide and the speed of the tide, what you're going to get away with. 200 gram lead holding bottom, so I want to make sure my bait is free flowing away from the weight, so that this is going to let me do that. Then I'm going to take the swivel link clip from Gemini. I'm going to attach that to the end.
How much you sell 10?
Hey?
How many do you sell 10?
Get the knot tight, and then what I do, I take the weight.
How much is 10
Plates. Or is it just doing in big boats?
No, we're doing, I think they're like 110 or 120 each.
We go on,
By 10.
and I'll pull tight.
Right down there.
It's nice and strong.
Yeah.
Trim the excess, tag end. So I've got the swivel link clip. The reason I use the swivel link clip is, if you see now, enables me my weight to move. If you've got a fixed line straight to your lead, that'll spin the line straight back around to your trace line, causing a lot of problems with tangles, etc. Then I'm going to place down a bead. Then go on to these. These are the bent rig clip from Gemini. So basically what I'm going to do now is have it turned upwards, thread it down the line. Now once I've threaded that down the line, I'm going to take one of my swivels and I'm going to clip that on to the bent clip. So that'll slide down like so. Then I'm going to take another bead and slide that down. At this part now, it's a basic pulley rig. So swivel goes down, Speed goes on. And then it attaches with a swivel on the end. Pull tight, that's not going nowhere. Cut off the tag end. So what I've got is a basic rig body. Now what I do is the bent clip with your swivel on the end where your trace line attaches. And what I do now is attach the trace line to this. Basic knot, lubrication, pull down. That's strong. Cut off the tag end. Now, main part. This trace line can't be longer than the rig body, else the rig won't work. So what you want to do is pull the bent clip right up to the top swivel and bring this down about 2 inches from the top of the lead. Cut it off. Now with your hook. 6/0 Cox and roll up tied extra. Slide the first one down as the pennel and attach the second one on. Slide that. So there you go. So what you've got now is a trace, goes onto the rig body. Now how this works, this bent clip clips on where you would normally attach your trace line onto your pulley rig. So that'll go down like so. Bring the hook down, clip him on, and that's ready for casting. Bait him up. Big bait, obviously 6/0 hooks. I'm going to be using maybe whole squid, a sand deal, or 2 or 3 sand deal on. Bulk up the baits, get them out off the drop off, see if we can pick something up here. Right, now for the bait up. Well, I got Andy Baits. I buy this direct from Baits R Us. Now I order them in the hundreds. Order them in the hundreds, you get free delivery, and you're guaranteed obviously to always have top quality sand deal in your freezer. Makes it a lot cheaper than buying it straight from the tackle shops. I'm one for supporting the tackle shops, but at the end of the day I want to go fishing and I want to bring the cost down. Bringing the cost down allows me to go fishing a lot more. Now these, I would say, for the money, are the best sand deals available on the market. The quality is superb. It's up there with the top quality sand deals, and at a brilliant price. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 2 on it, using obviously the 6/0 hooks. So I'm going to tail the top just beyond the eyes, that's where the blood is. Same again. Now 6/0 hook, the up ties are ideal hook to use, and they present the bait superbly. What I do now, bait elastic, anybody who was reading the magazine article I'd done from when we went to Wales targeting the blondes, it's the basic rig I was using then. Same hooks. I know Rob Batten was using them as well. Landed everything we caught. If you're using cheaper, low quality tackle and you do it into a good fish and you don't land it, something what stays with you and you regret it. top quality hooks at a fantastic price. If your shops or local tackle shops don't store these, you can go onto the Sea Dog Tackle website and order them online. If not, get in contact with your tackle shop and ask them, can you get me some uptide extras in? They are fantastic hooks. A lot of blood and scent to this bait, which fishing in the Bristol Channel is needed. On most of our coasts, where I fish on the South Devon coast, I use single sand deal. Scale down the hooks a little bit smaller, but they normally, to be honest, we pick up the bigger fish and the better fish on single baits and making it look more natural, but we're relying on scent in the channel, so we want to try and get as much scent in the water as we can. Right, that's secure. 2 hooks, one at the top, one at the bottom. That's ready to clip down and cast out. Eddie's using exactly the same trace and rig as I'm using today, cocks and rules, and yeah, let's see what we can get out with this one. Okay, at the moment the tide's going from right to left, so what I'm going to do is cast up tide and let it drift down in front of me. Webb and Ed Riley down a new mark they've taken me today, and I've gone and pulled one out of the bag. Look, unlucky for Eddie, he's just lost one on the surface, but they see him just come on a feed. This is my first small eyed, so it's 2 new species for me this year. I'm doing quite well, so let's get back in the water. Fish on. Oh, number 2.
Another small-eyed. Get on, boy.
There we go. Number 2 for me today, and 2 that I've ever had. They seem to be on a feed, so let's get back fishing as soon as possible.
Put them in the rock pools here. Tide's coming in now, so we'll just pick up on the tide.
There we go.
Up it goes.
Well, there's me ticket, lads. I borrowed it off Andy because I still haven't been bothered to make my own up yet. And there's my first one of the year. £7.10. That's an excuse of sand on him. Been down there while I've been setting up here. Caught on a pulley dropper. Big old 5-0 cocks and roll hooks. Can't beat it. What do you reckon? We took it back now, eh? Way to go, look. Look, we are here in the channel now. As you can see, it's not very deep. We all got waders on. I could probably wade another 40 or 50 yards out there, but I'm going to let him go here because we've got a tide coming up. And there he goes.
That's the tide now. Pick up first out in front. So say another half hour, and then we'll have to make our way back up. But good day's fishing.
So what do you reckon then for this ray on this year? Obviously Andy Webb's presenting. I think we've between us now, I suppose we've both had phonies in the Tamar, and now here we've both had small eyes.
Yeah, we're doing alright. I mean, I think we're going to struggle with this. We're going to travel around the UK to get to 7 species. One I would like to get is that...
there is 8, but 1 is impossible. 1 is impossible. We're not going to get it.
I would really
why I said 7. But no, I mean, this year there's going to be a few road trips coming on. Me, Andy Webb, maybe Paul Lynch if we can get time off work. A few of the other lads. Hopefully we can get around the country and get the rest of the species. Nice one.
Fishing now, fish are just coming straight in to the right, basically beaching themselves. Ripping from left to right now, and then in the back of the ground, calling to another one. He's just walking up to land this cat. Another small line it looks like. What you got there, Ed?
Yeah, fish. Up down the bottom, up there, look.
Hopefully get up to water again.
Beautiful.
Job done.
Absolutely stunning. Getting back in the water.
Well, that's our trip, guys. Down the day, a few fish out between us. We're going to make our way up. Like we said earlier, one at a time. Anybody who's got a rope coming down, it's always best to go one at a time. See anything that comes down. But if Eddie spins the camera around for you now, you can see ideal rain territory. Anywhere with sand, it's mixed ground with gullies, it's troughs, anywhere that's going to hold food. That is where to get your bait. You get small eye ray, blonde ray. See you next time.
There he is, going up. First one up the rope. We haven't had a bad day. Started off a bit slow, but bottom of the tide and just up over. Yeah, we started pulling a few in. I lost a good one, obviously. 18 pound Sakuma Night Crystal I was using to give away. But yeah, Paul had one after. I had another. Paul had another, and then me again. Andy packed up a little early to do some filming. Catch some bits. It's quite a climb. He'll be sweating by the time he gets to the top of that one. So he's about halfway up. Taking a little breather there, look, Nancy.